What's up, ATB fans? This is Bill Neville from the After the Bell podcast. Just wanted to thank you guys for hitting that download button on iTunes, Stitcher, or whether you guys are listening on YouTube or on other some sort of platform. We appreciate all the support we can get. This is our live show that we recorded at Hurricane O'Reilly's in Boston prior to Money in the Bank. Myself, Lee, and Corey, our first time actually recording in front of a crowd in public. It was pretty nerve-wracking, but it was pretty mind-blowing at the same time, considering that yesterday when we recorded this prior to Money in the Bank, it was our 5-month anniversary. Lee and I began the show 5 months ago, back on January 29th, and it's been quite the ride since then. And over 700 Twitter followers later, and over 100 subscribers on iTunes later, and it's just been a wild ride. And now we're selling T-shirts, and it's absolutely insane. But I just want to kick this off with this little intro because for some reason our first 3 minutes of the show got cut off, and we aren't able to archive that and post it to this podcast. So I'm going to record some sort of little intro similar to what Stone Cold and Chris Jericho and JR do. So just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a rundown what this show is. As soon as we jump in, we're going to jump in about 3 minutes in, and we're talking to an old friend of ours who was actually on our WrestleMania preview show, Mike Riley. You can hear him on 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston, and he's also the public address announcer for the Red Sox Class A affiliate Lowell Spinners. So he's got quite the booming voice, and we're going to jump you guys right in here to the beginning of the Money in the Bank preview show for After the Bell Live at Hurricane O'Reilly's in Boston.
Boston. We're here.
Money, 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 money.
And now, live from Hurricane O'Reilly's in Boston, this is the After the Bell podcast with Bill Neville, Lee Morgan, and Corey Parks.
All right, let's jump into a couple things here with Mike as far as Money in the Bank goes. That we got my little rundown here. Mike, fantasy booking for tonight's 2 ladder matches. Who wins in fantasy booking? Not necessarily your predictions, but what you would love to see to happen. Who wins the briefcase? Who wins the titles? And where does WWE stand at the end of the night?
Wow. All right. The briefcase, going before SmackDown the other night, I was going to take Bad News Barrett. That's going to change now. It has to. He's out of the match. Who's his replacement?
He's actually still listed on WWE.com to be in the match.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that.
Wow,
Unless maybe it's going to be like a last-second replacement, or, well, who knows?
Well, then I was going to say Jack Swagger, but I think he's in the doghouse now.
He's been in the doghouse since his pot arrests or whatever it was back then?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to go with Seth Rollins in that one.
I like that.
Seth Rollins, they're pushing him for the first one, the contract match.
Right.
I think, by him joining on with the Authority there, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, that's kind of a singles competition.
Oh, yeah.
So I got Seth Rollins there. And then you want the championship,
sure.
The fantasy, what I would like to see?
Yes.
And I know you didn't ask for predictions, but I would like to see Seth Rollins win that, too. I'll leave it at that. I would like to see it, and I think he will.
To cash in at the end of the night, you mean?
No.
No.
I think he'll cash in. Well, if Roman Reigns wins... Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Here's my fantasy.
That was my fantasy booking.
If Roman Reigns wins this, then Seth Rollins will cash in, go right for it right away.
Does he win it?
No.
So he gets shut down just like
yes.
Damian Sandow and all the other...
But that's my fantasy situation. That's a fantasy.
Right.
Now, I think the real situation for the ladder match for the titles, you're going to see one guy get the WWE one and one guy get the World Heavyweight one.
And they're going to split them again?
I just have a feeling it's going to be split. And by having 2 belts... You just have that feeling it's going to be split. Why do you have 2 belts?
That totally makes sense. I mean,
this is the better of the 2. The old WCW one. Come on, that's all gold.
Big gold belt? Yeah, you know
it's
what?
Beautiful.
I'm going to agree with Mike here.
instead of the class ring WWE Championship that The Rock introduced. I'm more of a fan of the big gold belt myself, but I hope they do not split the belts. I think that would be terrible.
Well, it's a prop.
I mean, when was the first time somebody had both belts? What pay-per-view was that?
TLC, was it?
And when was that? Back in what?
December.
December?
Yeah.
Right after Survivor Series.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking
in Survivor Series.
So we're talking about 6-7 months ago, and you would think by now they probably would have dropped the second belt if they're going to. So your proposition definitely makes sense.
Yeah, now my other thing, though, I do have another semi-prediction. I think they're just going to shock everyone, and he's going to be a dark horse. Randy Orton may win this thing. And
The Legend Killer.
Yeah. I would love to see John Cena do it, though, right here in his hometown. And then that would set up him and Brock Lesnar. But I think you could see Randy Orton, and then someone is going to take one belt and the other person will take the other. So it's going to be one of those two scenarios in my book.
What do you think about, on the same vein as fantasy booking, Bad News Barrett is not in the match.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar gets inserted into the match, wins it, and then tries to cash it in at the end of the night. Anybody? Takers?
And there's no chance in hell Brock Lesnar fails at cashing it in.
No.
So he gets inserted into the briefcase match. He's going to win the title.
Yeah, I would
You know
love
what'd be
to
really
see it.
cool? You know what'd be really cool? It's not going to happen, but say Lesnar, if he is put in there, what if the lights go out and you hear The Undertaker? After
Oh,
the
boy.
streak was beat.
You wouldn't even want to see my face when that happened. I would fall down, scream, cry,
Well, think about
pee
that.
all at once.
Wow, okay. All right. Think about that. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but
That would literally be the end of me.
But Paul Heyman keeps mentioning it all the time. He's the guy that beat the streak, and, that keeps the door open for The Undertaker to return.
Absolutely. All right, so I like that. I like the same thing as far as the fantasy booking goes. I like seeing and Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and cashing in on Roman Reigns, who wins the titles at the end of the month, but end of the night, but actually winning the title.
Yeah,
and not losing to Roman Reigns.
And The Undertaker is my fantasy booking.
Yeah, that is an absolute fantasy.
Keyword fantasy.
What do you think about that, Lee?
My predictions?
Yes. Or as far as your fantasy booking goes.
My fantasy booking would be exactly what you just said.
Wow, Lee, I knew there was something good about you, honey.
Right here, Randy Orton.
Yep, there
Roman
you go.
Reigns.
There you go.
Yep.
She has it
Great
in writing.
minds think alike, right?
Corey, what about you?
If my Brock Lesnar prediction doesn't work out, which I'm thinking he's on his farm in Saskatchewan, so that's not really realistic. Again, if you listen to the podcast, I'm one of the bigger Dolph Ziggler fans. Obviously this is a 0% chance of happening, but he wins the Money in the Bank, then he cashes in at the end.
Yep.
Triple H kind of acknowledging that the other night on Raw, like, you guys think I cooled him down, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's some type of harbinger that he's going to start getting some gas, but who knows?
That's Corey's fantastic Triple H impression, by the way.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that. That was good.
All right, Mike, anything else to add for Money in the Bank tonight?
Well, I got to tell you guys, first of all, congratulations to you guys being able to broadcast here at Hurricane O'Reilly's.
I appreciate that.
From going to a homemade set in your basement on a laptop, and this is a full-fledged production. We do shows here at the Hub, Felger and Maz.
Yep.
During the Bruins season in playoffs, and it's like a circus here. It looks great. It's beautiful. You got the banners, great marketing. T-shirts are selling now.
T-shirts are selling for $20.
Merch.
Microphone flags, nice decoration here with the belts. I love it. So very, very impressed, and a tip of the cap to you guys. And you're very lucky to have good partners here with Hurricane O'Reilly to let you do that.
Thank you, sir. Mike, Mike, where can we find you on Twitter again?
Yeah, at Mike Riley 54 Riley. It's also my Instagram account. I have the picture of Hogan up. I'll be putting the Foley one up later as well.
Beautiful.
So
And-
thank you very much, guys. And where are you sitting tonight?
I'm on the floor.
Are you getting the chair to take home?
I hope so.
Okay.
She's in the loge, and he's in the balcony. So
Okay.
we've got the whole damn
Okay.
garden covered.
All right. Well, I'm in a suite.
Well, aren't you sweet?
Well, then.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, hey. Jeremy Jacobs' suite, by the way.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Little fancy pants.
Well, he's not coming down. He's in Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when can we hear you on air on 98.5 The Sports Zone?
Let's see. I'll be back with Toucher and Rich on Wednesday and Thursday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then next week I'll be with Gresh and Zoe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Look
10
at
to
you.
2.
You're on like the Jerry Thornton tour going on.
Yeah,
here.
well, no, that's a competition. And then Lowell Spinners, LowellSpinners.com. We got a homestand starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Fireworks Thursday night for the 4th of July. And maybe you may want to do a podcast up there at the Lasher Park. We could talk about this, Mr. Neville.
Are we having any wrestling up there, or was that at Brockton?
Just make it happen. They do have the big time wrestling up there, the independent circuit.
Because Mike was the ring announcer for that event.
I was.
And he got to ring
That's
announce
awesome.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That was pretty cool.
Hacksaw, Brutus Beefcake, Tito Santana.
That's awesome.
Hey, one more thing, too.
Yes.
At the Foley show last night, John Cena's dad was there.
Oh, no kidding.
And he did a funny thing. Remember the Raw before? You and I were there at it. The Raw before the Survivor Series 2 years ago.
Sure.
Foley came out with The Rock, and he said,
That was one of my favorite segments ever.
He mentioned that. He said, it's time to reenact one of the greatest segments here of all time. This is your life, John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
This is your life.
Yep, so Cena's dad did the same thing, and he goes, you guys have said over and over that Cena sucks. Well, the truth is, you all suck. And he just got off the stage, so it was pretty funny.
That was great.
Good stuff.
Wow, there you go.
All right, Mike. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Riley.
All right. Thank you. Hold the applause.
All right. We actually have our very first sponsor for the After the Bell podcast, and Corey is going to give you guys the info on that sponsor. Let's hear it.
Are you in need of promotional items for your business? If so, Ben Franklin Tees of Danvers has you covered. Whether it's helping design your logo, business cards, and brochures, or even clothing, Joe and the staff at Ben Franklin Tees are the only folks you should turn to for your custom business designs. Give them a call at 978-317-7964 or visit them at their location at 467 Maple Street in Danvers. They're also available online at benfranklintees.co. Ben Franklin Tees, design, print, deliver, and conquer.
All right, yeah, guys, be sure to contact Ben Franklin Tees for all of your business needs. We have some Eat, Sleep, ATB Repeat shirts on that are for sale here at Hurricane O'Reilly's, or you can contact us on Twitter and get yourself a shirt just for $20. We're going to move on here to our actual predictions for the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Lee, you're going to read the participants in order of first for the World Heavyweight Championship ladder match.
It's awful loud.
Whoa.
Sorry.
For the contract match?
Yes, each name.
Well, we did have Bad News Barrett. Dean Ambrose. Dolph Ziggler. Jack Swagger. Kofi
Weed.
Kingston. RVD. And Seth Rollins.
Nice job. All right. Our actual predictions for that match. Who comes out on top? World Heavyweight Championship ladder match.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
There's no doubt.
Taking home the briefcase?
Oh, yeah.
And does he cash in tonight like our fantasy booking segment?
I would love if he cashed in tonight, but it's Money in the Bank. Anything can happen.
I feel like Seth Rollins is kind of the obvious choice out of the 7 that we had listed there. Like we said, it's Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, and Seth Rollins. I would love to see them obviously swerve and take Ziggler to win the briefcase, and the TD Garden would explode. But he really hasn't done much recently at all since just after WrestleMania 29. And why would they all of a sudden just throw him right back into the picture like that?
Because I like him a lot.
Because
I have 251 followers on Twitter, so obviously, my voice is getting out there.
Well, Lee, what do you have to say? Because you have way more followers than that.
I have 3,000
Girl
now.
doesn't count.
A girl doesn't count?
Nope, I don't count anymore.
No, the Twitter follow. You count a lot, but the Twitter followers don't count.
Yeah, they don't count. I do have a question.
Yes.
Who replaces Bad News Barrett tonight?
Does he get replaced?
I would hope so.
Yes, that cheer is for us. We know that.
Goal by the team.
I can't see who it is. I'm way too far away from the
was
TV.
Greece. Who just scored.
Yeah,
it was
Greece
Greece
just
in the 90th minute.
Wow.
It's right behind your head there, Corey.
Talk about drama. And speaking of drama, tonight's Money in the Bank pay-per-view will be filled with it. Why don't we get back on track?
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us on the rails.
Segway king.
All right, so back to the ladder match for the briefcase. I'm going to take Dolph Ziggler. Just because, like Corey said, he wants it to happen. But he got a victory over a few guys this last couple of weeks. And he seems to be back on the uprise. We thought he was going to be in the Uprise after his crazy backstage shoot interview.
Oh, yeah.
I forget who that was with. Was that with Josh Matthews? By the way, the Macho Man just walked in over here.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
That is beautiful.
You tell me something right now, Macho. Macho, come on up to the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, Macho Man Randy Savage.
How we doing? How's
Good,
everything
Mach.
going?
You don't sound like Macho.
Everybody over here is real intense right now, huh?
You sound like an old Italian Macho Man.
Uh-huh. Oh, is that right?
Hey, how we doing?
I sound like an old boopity beepity, huh? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Remember, I am your friend, but I could beat you in the ring. Okay?
Let me tell you something, McMahon.
Just take it real easy there now, all right? Everybody, let me give a shout out to everybody for my little website here. Is that all right?
Let's hear it.
I want everybody here to go visit lowblowsports.com for more Macho Madness. We covered tonight's event. Again, that's Low Blow Sports for the Macho Madness.
Oh,
Check it out, yeah.
Macho, can you plug our website as well? Right on there.
Can we do what now?
Can you plug our website on there too?
What's your website?
Right in front of you.
You like. Take off the glasses. ATBWrestling.com in affiliation with Low Blow Sports. Like them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're a bunch of good guys. They're all part of the wrestling community. Uh-huh.
There is nothing that would explode our podcast better than being in cahoots with Macho Man Randy Savage.
There's nothing better. The sky's the limit, Macho Madness. Space is the place.
Thank you, Macho. Appreciate you joining the show.
Uh-huh. Thank you, boys, very much.
Have a good one. Enjoy your coffee.
Thanks, Macho.
We'll see you at the event, all right?
Enjoy your casket,
Keep
my
the
friend.
madness alive. Oh, yeah.
I'll throw it in there.
All
Okay,
right.
then.
Well, where the hell were we before that? Before that happened. Wow. Is there any other wrestlers in here? Because I would love them to come up here.
You know what's funny is that I thought Macho was Bray Wyatt because he was sitting without his jacket on, just wearing like a wife beater and that hat.
That's great.
But that's the madness. All right, I think we're at the Money in the Bank ladder match, were we not?
Oh, that's right. Yes. So I like Dolph Ziggler in this match. For as far as what he's going to do with it after that, I have no idea. It's very unpredictable, and this is great because from Elimination Chamber through WrestleMania and the pay-per-view after, it was kind of predictable what was going to happen in WWE. But right now, it is literally up for grabs, and you have no idea what is going on as far as predictions go. I mean, Lee and I were talking months ago during Elimination Chamber, Mania, and Extreme Rules, and we were like, we both predicted the card perfectly. It was way too easily predictable, but it could be a major swerve if somebody like Dolph Ziggler or even Dean Ambrose, or if Bad News Barrett actually competes in the match, if he wins it too. But I am going to take Dolph Ziggler as my prediction. As far as the World Heavyweight Championship ladder match for the belts, we're going to hold off a little bit until Mike Wendt from WZLX gets here. But Lee, who are you thinking for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the briefcase? Actual predictions.
We can't do fantasy anymore.
No fantasies.
Let's see. I still have Seth Rollins. That's just my plain prediction.
So fantasy and reality?
Fantasy and reality, yep.
Corey, how about you?
My fantasy would be Boston College's own Kofi Kingston, but I think he's in there to do some funny high spots. So
I can only imagine the high spots
Yeah.
Kofi's going to get tonight.
And then
What are we thinking for predictions for that? What is he going to do?
he's gonna do like 5 backflips off the top of the ladder.
And how
to the
many
12th
ladders
row.
are involved?
He'll jump off like 9 ladders. But I guess my real prediction, I guess I could agree with Lee here, it'd be Seth Rollins. The way he's being pushed. Although the only thing I could see is maybe Dean Ambrose gets in there and, pushes him off, and then all of a sudden someone like, I don't even know. I could see RVD even winning the case, you know what I mean? But I think Seth would be the safe bet. So as we know, as my prediction goes, that means he will not be winning it.
What if Dean Ambrose wins the briefcase?
I honestly have no idea. Where does he go from there? Where does Dean Ambrose go after tonight anyway, regardless?
Would you say Umbro? Would you got soccer on the brain, Billy? Come on, focus up. I don't know. Hopefully he goes to the clothes store and gets rid of his like leather jacket and wife beat.
His 70s Whitey Bulger outfit?
Yeah. It's just not working.
Lee. Him and Johnny Depp are walking around Celtic together in the same
Yeah.
outfit.
He's looking to be an extra.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to take Dolph Ziggler. You guys are taking Seth Rollins?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to wait for Mike Wendt to get here to do our predictions for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the titles. But let's go over the rest of the card of Money in the Bank while we have it. Big E versus Rusev. Does Big E finally defeat Rusev?
Do I finally get my beer during this match? I think I do. I hope, honestly, though, Big E does beat him, because if Rusev just beats him again, it kind of puts an end to that feud, and I don't really know where you'd go with Rusev from there, but I like to see Big E with a nice performance, extend that feud out maybe another month or two, and we'll see what happens from there.
I have Rusev winning because he's cutting so many promos right now, especially in DC. The one out in DC, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm tired of the character where, like Goldberg did back in the day, like Ryback did when he first came in, where it was jobber after jobber, 10-second match, good night, camel clutch, doesn't even look like it hurts.
Accolade, Bill. Accolade.
It's the camel clutch.
Accolade.
As far as I'm concerned, it'll always be the camel clutch. And so will Iron Sheiki. Sheiki will come after you.
Cheeky.
Like dead dog shit.
Remember you got a boner against Hogan in that match? I do. Get that one saved. Favorited.
You got a screenshot of that on your background of your computer?
Yeah, it's actually the background of my phone.
All right, so like I said, I'm going to take Big E in this match. Lee, you said you're going to take Rusev, and you're going to take?
I'll take Big E in this.
Big E. Okay, so 2 versus 1 for Big E. Mm-hmm. Loser buys the other 2 a beer.
I like it.
Sounds good.
All right. Rybaxel versus Goldust and Stardust, or shall we say Gold Star.
We shall say it.
Who wins this match?
I got to go with Gold Star here. I mean, I don't see any point of Rybaxel winning this, and Cody Rhodes has been so awesome in that character. I can't wait to see him come out.
I've been looking at the YouTube comments on videos of Stardust, whether it was his debut or his entrance video or whatnot, and no one seems to like Stardust, and I can't get over it. I love the fact that Cody Rhodes is putting on this character right now.
Yeah, I've heard basically that everybody's been liking him. I don't know what those Midwestern 12-year-olds are thinking on YouTube, but
this is also true.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they pull it out. I can't see a situation where they don't. It wouldn't make any sense.
All right. Lee?
I see Goldust falling over and off to the side, and Stardust just taking it all.
Taking it all? Taking what?
Everything in the ring.
Taking everything in the ring?
Yes.
So Goldust is going to get tossed out like near the beginning of the match, and then Cody or Stardust is going to... Did you guys hear that promo, by the way? I think it was 2 weeks ago, and it was Tom Phillips was talking to Goldust, and he goes, he said something about Cody, and Goldust was like, Cody? I didn't see Cody. I saw Stardust.
Now, does he still have that Tourette syndrome from getting electrocuted? Has that been cured? I'm not sure if he...
I think it's a little more mild now.
Okay.
Because he did do a couple of weird noises during that interview.
Okay, so he's gotten control of it over the years.
Because Cody came in singing When You Wish Upon a Star, and then he left, and Goldust just did like one of those...
All right, so...
right in his face.
Still got a little touch of it. That's good.
So, we're all in agreement that Goldust and Stardust take this match. How about... For the WWE Tag Team Championships, you got the Usos versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Who wins this match?
I'm going to go ahead and say that it will be...
I heard a oos out there.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for participating.
And thank you to my girlfriend for the beer. Badasses drink beer during podcasts. Everyone knows it. I'm going to go ahead and go with, I think, the Wyatt family. You know, they've been feuding for a little bit here. Usos have had a pretty decent run with the belts. It might be time to put them on the Wyatt family, because then they can start up a feud with Gold Star and maybe get the belts to them that way.
I like it.
I'm just going to say the Wyatts. Even though they're not
that's
the
all
Wyatts.
you're going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, why are they the Wyatts? I never quite understood that.
Are they the Wyatts or the Wyatt family? I don't know if there's semantics here.
But Bray's last name is Wyatt. So... I don't know.
But they could still be the... I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Was the... whether or not the Manson family, everybody was named Manson. I don't think it was. But...
All right, we're going to skip the rest of the card for a little bit. We are welcoming our second guest onto the show. You can hear him on 100.7 WZLX. He's the host and producer of Nesson's Wicked Bites. and he's the co-host of the Mike and Billy Show, where you can download on iTunes and Stitcher along with us at ATB Wrestling. Mike Wendt, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Good, Mike.
Pretty good,
How you
man. All right, Mike. So we had Mike Riley on before, and we were going over a couple of things. But we're going to re-go over them with you here just to get your thoughts on a couple of the matches tonight.
Sounds good.
What other match besides the ladder matches are you most excited to watch?
Oh, well, the newly announced the Fandango reffing match. I'm just hoping we go all Tommy Dreamer and take them both.
In the ring or just sometime afterwards?
Come on,
maybe,
we're paying for the show. We might as well see
maybe in the
something, right?
Holiday Inn Express across the street?
Why not?
I guess somebody tapes it.
I'm guessing it'll happen in a back room at Kowloon later tonight.
Will they re-air that on the replay on WWE Network?
It's the late night content. When they show Hardcore TV and WCCW, yeah, they'll show that late night.
Exactly. All right. Let's see here. All right, Mike. So fantasy booking.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? Now we're talking fantasy booking. Like what you would love to happen that isn't most likely to happen. What would you like to see happen in the briefcase match and the belts match? And where does WWE stand at the end of the night?
As far as the belts match, me and Billy talked about it this week. I'd love to see them split. I'd love to see two guys climb one ladder and each one grabs a belt, and you have to figure it out from there.
Now, where does that leave the Money in the Bank? Does it get to choose again?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they would have to choose, or they would have to have a reunification match.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
I mean, like we were saying, back in December, it was at TLC where the first time somebody had both belts, and you would think over the course of the next 6 months leading up to today, they would have dropped one of the belts if they were going to.
The double belt thing's getting a little tired.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm tired of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship title. I mean, it's
so wordy.
It's exactly, and you see guys stumbling over it all the time. Even Michael Cole, he just says the WWE World Title. He doesn't even say World Heavyweight Championship anymore. But I would love to see him just call it the WWE Championship or the WWE World Championship, but drop the word heavyweight. I mean, Daniel Bryan's not a heavyweight.
No. I think they stopped being a heavyweight championship when Mysterio won it.
That too.
Yeah.
So you think the belts are going to be split?
I'd love to see it.
And who grabs the two belts?
Oh, that's a
fantasy
good one.
booking.
Fantasy booking, I would have Cesaro and Wyatt.
Okay.
I'm guessing reality, and I'm going to go with my co-host Billy, and he's going with Cena, and I think he said Cesaro.
Okay.
He was dead set on Cena winning. I'm like, come on. It's been done too many times,
Yeah.
Never bet against Cena, though.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Has Cena won a Money in the Bank match before?
Yeah, he has. He tried to cash it in on
that's
Punk
right. He
and
lost it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost.
Has Cena won a ladder match for the championship against Edge back in the day, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Sounds about right, yeah.
When he gave him the then FU off
Right.
off the top of the table.
Right.
Through two tables.
Through two
right?
tables,
Yeah.
yes. That was I believe that was in Toronto, in Edge's hometown as well. So let's see here.
As far as the briefcase match, I got to go with Seth Rollins.
Okay.
I'd like to see Ambrose win, just because he was just added in, and it would add tension now between Rollins and Triple H. But I'm going with Seth Rollins just because he was recently on the Mike and Billy show talking about the ladder match.
I had that written right here. I was going to ask you about that. How did that go yesterday?
It was awesome. It's always fun to talk to the guys. And
I had met Seth Rollins. I had a chance to meet the whole Shield in New Jersey back in March, thanks to this one over here. And he was definitely, hands down, the coolest one out of the three guys. I mean, Dean just kind of had his head down, and he was just like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And Roman kind of, hey, what's going on, man? And then Seth was like, how you doing, man? You going to the show tonight? What's going on? But Seth definitely seemed like the coolest guy, but
Seth
I never
was the
got
people
to
person.
really chat with him. So I'm kind of disappointed that he's a heel now.
Yeah.
Because you won't see that side of him, really.
Dean's the one that hasn't been on the show with us, so I can't come on that. Roman's like our best friend. He's been on like 3 times now.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, I'm trying to get him to come to my bachelor party in August. So
Nice.
I'm sure it's going to happen. We're best friends now. But Seth was very cool. It was early in the morning, so none of us were really on top of our game. Had my 16-gallon coffee, and it was an interesting conversation. And we did a word association, where we took the other 6 guys in the match. And had him just, give a word or a phrase.
First thing that comes off the top of his head?
Exactly.
I love it.
And the one I loved was when we said RVD. And he had legitimately forgotten he was in the match. And he just went, oh, that's right. He's going to kick me in the head so hard. I'm going to hate this. And him and Kofi and Dolph just being in the match, it's going to be really high energy. And of course, adding Dean Ambrose doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's Seth Rollins is the first name that really jumps out at you as far as predicting a winner for this match. I mean, like we said, we have Bad News Barrett, who we're not sure if he's actually going to be competing in tonight's match. Yeah. He's still listed on WWE.com.
Of course, Hogan's in town, so maybe he'll step up for him. Why not?
Hogan in the ladder match. That
would
work
rip
out
the
well.
shirt. Yeah, drop the leg off the ladder, brother.
Just jump off the ladder and just disintegrate.
He just bursts into flames.
So on the list for the ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase, we have Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, Rob Van Dam, and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Like I said, Seth Rollins is the first name that really jumps out to you, kind of like bold face on that list.
Yeah.
Do you see anyone else possibly winning this match?
Winning, like I said, I'd like to see Ambrose.
Okay.
The rest of them, I really don't. I think the rest of them were added. Besides Ambrose and Rollins, I think the rest of them were just put in just to have an awesome match. It seems like you got Ziggler, you got RVD, you got Kofi Kingston, you got Swagger. They've all won them before,
right?
Well, 3 of them have won it before, but it's you can't put those guys in a match and have it be bad, basically.
Gotcha.
My thought, anyway.
That's pretty bad.
Just one man's opinion.
That's pretty cool. You get to interview Seth. Hopefully, we'll get to that point someday.
Yeah, WWE's been great to us. And
is it through your ZLX connections, or you just kind of do that on your own?
Well, it's just Mike and Billy. We are now, our interviews are showing up on WZLX.com.
Oh, very cool.
But that was kind of an afterthought. I got an email. I tried it. We did 2 WrestleManias ago was our first one, and we got Paul Heyman, and it was like to have him as the first interview was nerve-wracking.
Oh, I can imagine.
As a kid who found ECW at 3M on the Spanish channel way back in the day, I was like this the entire time. Luckily, it was radio, not TV. I was shaking like a leaf. But it's been awesome, and we've gotten some really cool guys on. And like I said, I mean, Roman Reigns, he came off the first time we had him on. He was very, he was him, Roman Reigns. But it's easy. Once you don't talk wrestling, it's easy to loosen him up. We were asking about the Samoan family, and he had just gotten his tattoo, which was a funny story. How he got it 2 days before WrestleMania, and then had to wrestle Big Show and Sheamus.
Oh man!
And he's like, my arm, I didn't feel it for a week and a half because he got the whole big Samoan job done.
Now what? He's related to The Rock somewhere down the lineage, isn't he?
Yeah, we went through his family tree. He's, I want to say Sika's kid. It's either Afa or Sika's kid.
Oh, okay. So one of the Wild Samoans.
One of the Wild Samoans. And somewhere in there is, like, above the Wild Samoans is Rocky's mother.
Okay.
So, and then that way. He's like I think,
gotcha.
A second cousin, half removed on the Samoan side.
Gotcha. It's some complicated thing. I don't know. Who knows?
They're all related. Every one
yeah.
of them,
Absolutely.
And tough bastards, man. Every single one of them. You just look at it, it's like, that's a Thanksgiving I'd love to just be a fly on the wall for.
You wouldn't want to be a turkey at that
Each
Thanksgiving.
one gets a turkey.
Let's see. Moving on to the World Heavyweight Championship ladder match.
Yep.
We have Alberto Del Rio. We have Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, John Cena, Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Sheamus. Mike, who comes out on top here?
I'd love to see Cesaro or Wyatt come out on top. I think Cesaro would be a great run. Having Heyman with another belt would just even add that another notch up, especially with a month before SummerSlam. They could play with it at Battleground a little bit.
Maybe if Cesaro ends up with the belts, maybe he'll end up with some better music too.
I would love that. I would love that. Enough with the horns.
That tornado siren is awful.
I keep looking for Scott Steiner to come out. But I think, again, it's going to be another just great high-impact match. And I love the fact that Cena's added, like, throwing things at people as part of his repertoire. It's like the sick move of Doom, where he launched the stairs at Wyatt at the last pay-per-view. Yep. I'm hoping he gets one of the ladders and just javelins it and kind of loses control. The whole first 3 rows is taken out. It'd be wonderful. We have to stop the show, and we can all vine it and be like, yep, TMZ, we got this.
Where are you sitting tonight, Mike?
I honestly don't know. I got to pick up my tickets.
Oh, you haven't picked them up
still
yet?
over at Will Call, yeah.
Gotcha. So you're probably like second row floor with all your connections.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm actually sitting with the King.
You sit next to Justin Roberts?
Yeah, Justin Roberts. Me and him, we got the barricades just in case. We're going to be doing selfies the entire time.
You're going to be the honorary timekeeper for a couple matches?
Exactly. We're going to make everybody jealous with our selfies.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's fun.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find Mike Wendt on Twitter at Mike Wendt. That's MikeWendt. Mike, where else can we find you online?
Oh, Christ, everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's all based under my name, so the MIKEWNDT is pretty much universal. Of course, Wicked Bites is on Nessun. It's a big show I'm doing.
And when is that on?
Actually, it's going to show tonight at 7:30. It's on regularly. I know, everybody's watching the pre-show. Regularly,
Screw the pre-show. Watch Wicked Bites.
Wicked Bites, for Christ's sakes. Come on. We had a great show. We were at Foxwoods for 2 days. They gave me a villa. It was ridiculous.
I was just down there a couple days ago. All I had was a tiny little room in MGM.
Oh, man. Yeah, they were telling me the villa I was staying in, just to give you a reference, J-Lo was staying in there last weekend.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, we found like 8 toilets in there. There's 4 bedrooms. It was 2 floors. I own the 22nd and 23rd floor of Foxwoods. And I was like a kid in a candy store. We walked in like, I shouldn't be here. I'm a PBR guy. This is not my game.
I mean, on the scale, J-Lo and Mike Wendt.
Absolutely.
It's pretty even, right?
I for the first and last time used a bidet. But just so I could say, you know what, if J-Lo happened to use it, we got that in common. But yeah, that's Wicked Bites, normally Saturday mornings at 9:30 a.m. But if you're watching tonight and you don't feel like watching the pre-show, Nessun, 7:30.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike, again for joining us.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your time.
Absolutely, no problem. Anytime.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Wendt, everybody. Thank you, guys. Alrighty. Moving on. Let's get back to the card here. We were going over the Usos versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and I think we came up with our predictions for that already, didn't we?
We did.
I lost track when I saw Mike standing over there. I just figured I'd call him over. Up next, we have Summer Rae versus Layla with Fandango as the special guest referee. Who wins this one? Corey?
I'm going Super Swerve. Michelle McCool comes back. Lay Cool reforms. They beat both Fandango and Summer Rae down. Summer Rae rejoins with Fandango. Chip, chop, chip.
Chip, chop, chip.
I like his prediction
How can
better.
you follow that?
I love Michelle McCool.
Yeah, but Michelle McCool is too busy just nursing the Undertaker's injury.
That's true. That's
Feeding
true.
him his food.
Yeah.
Through a feeding tube.
Yeah. Still dead. Literally dead from WrestleMania.
It made me so sad the other day to see the report on WrestleZone.com. Who knows how true it is, but saying that a source, quote-unquote, close to The Undertaker is saying he will probably not wrestle at WrestleMania 31.
Probably not walk again.
I wonder how he's doing. He looked in rough shape after that match.
It was bad. It was really bad.
For a second there, I
fine.
thought he was out of it, and that's why there was a 3 count.
Yeah, I was actually listening to Talk is Jericho this week. He had Heyman on, and Heyman said that as soon as Undertaker went through the first curtain, he immediately collapsed and had to get pretty much rushed to the hospital. So, that was obviously a number of months ago, but how old is he? 48, 50? He might even be 50.
Oh, he's older than that. I think he's like 51.
Oh, really?
He's 48.
Oh, I lied.
He's 48.
Lee knows best.
Lee is the Age of Wrestlers queen. She knows every single thing.
Lee is the wrestling Wikipedia in human form.
But yeah, it would be kind of a shame if he lost. But I guess at the same time, you go out on your back. That's kind of the mantra of pro wrestling.
That's how everybody does it. That's how Michaels did it. That's how Flair did it. Well, Flair never actually went out.
Yeah.
But
you can't sneak it by me, Bill. I'm always going to say woo.
This is true. All right. So I'm going to take Paige in this match just because there's no real point in taking the...
Wait, what?
Wait, you're taking Paige? I thought we were talking about Summer Rae and...
Oh, Christ.
Layla.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Like, where
Summer
did she
Rae
come
versus...
from?
It was the Divas match. I'm sorry. Summer Rae versus Layla and Fandango. I'm going to take Summer Rae in this one. I don't know why, nor do I care. This Fandango relationship on Twitter breaking up thing is...
real as it gets.
Well, in today's age, it might be.
I have Summer Rae or I have both girls ganging up on him. Because that's a girl thing to do.
And then where does that leave the other 2 girls? Do they start being best friends? Or?
No. There's no becoming best friends after
Become
that.
Lay Ray.
Lay Ray.
I like it. Or Ray Lay.
Ray Lay.
Vice versa. All right, moving on.
Summer Lay.
I was thinking that, then I was like, maybe not.
I like that even better. All right, moving on. For the WWE Divas Championship, we have Paige versus Naomi. I'm going to take Paige in this match, just like I said before, even though I wasn't talking about the right match. But there's word on the street that the Funkadactyls, now that Brodus Clay has been future endeavored, are going to split up, finally. And I feel like Naomi's going to get cost the match here by Cameron somehow. And there's no real reason to take the belt off of Paige.
Yeah, I think it was on the Masked Man's podcast. He said that when Cameron was on commentary the other day, for like no reason, she started saying how she hates Naomi and how she hopes she loses, but at the time or even now they're still partners. So I can see some type of Cameron run-in, but never ever sleep on the rear view ever.
Lee?
I got Paige. Paige, my girl.
We all knew that already.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to say that again.
Nope.
And that brings us down to the ladder matches again. One more time, we're going to go over our prediction, just in case you guys hadn't heard it already on Ustream. Once again, you guys, if you are listening right now, you guys can download on iTunes and Stitcher Radio tomorrow. I'm not going to post right after this today because we're going to hustle over to Money in the Bank. But you guys can download that tomorrow on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and YouTube. Final predictions for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the briefcase. And then, go ahead.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, Corey?
Money in the Bank, I'm going to have to go with Seth Rollins, too.
Seth Rollins, and I'm going to take Dolph Ziggler, like I said before. And for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belts ladder match, Lee?
Randy Orton.
Corey? Actually, I don't think we ever explained our picks for this one
Yeah.
yet. Lee, why Randy Orton?
If I have Seth Rollins winning the briefcase. You have Randy Orton win the titles. And then you have sort of a authority together.
An inner authority feud, possibly?
Explosion.
Okay.
Yes.
So the authority implodes from within.
Yes.
Where does that leave Triple H and Stephanie?
Very frustrated.
That was a great call. I think I'm going to go with that. But if the other train of thought is that if the belt gets split up, somehow, some way, Alberto Del Rio's winning one of those belts for no reason. That's just his thing. He always does it.
And if he wins one, it's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship.
Absolutely.
It's clearly the B belt.
Clearly he's going to get the B belt. He's really not a B player, but... Or maybe he is. I don't know.
Well,
shoot on him, Bill.
Is he actually on his way out, or are people just lying about
I've heard that. I heard that, too. Like, he's on his way out, so maybe they try to appease him by giving him the big gold belt, but... I don't know. I like Lee's prediction. I like to see Randy win it. Seth wins the briefcase. I mean, maybe Randy goes through some type of a face turn. You know, back when it was like, whatever it was, 2010 SmackDown days when he was a champion, that was the best.
Lee's mom does not approve.
She does not approve of that. She hates Randy Orton.
She hates Randy Orton. Well, he loves Randy Orton over here, so you guys can fight.
Yep.
Can we just say how cool Lee's mom is being here supporting Lee and wearing a Daniel Bryan shirt and having knowledge of wrestling? My mom hates wrestling.
Your mom and my mom both.
Yeah, but she watches the Kardashians. Go figure, huh?
And my mom watches The Bachelor and
Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't watch that.
And all that garbage.
Nope. We watch sports.
Exactly.
Or sports entertainment, as it were.
Ha ha ha. Woo, woo, woo. I had to drop the trademark Corey Ponce. Woo, woo, woo.
Hey.
And I'm going to take, in this match, up until a few days ago, I had Roman Reigns winning the belts tonight at Money in the Bank. But over the last couple days, a couple of things were leaked onto the internet, and I'm going to take John Cena. John Cena in the hometown of Boston, Massachusetts, that has no reason or no reasoning why he's going to win this match. But there was a poster leaked for SummerSlam a couple days ago that had Brock Lesnar and John Cena on the front of it. Is Lesnar going to be in a main event match at SummerSlam with Cena and the title's not involved?
No, and I think it's about time for Brock to win the titles himself. I mean, he put Undertaker's streak into the ground, if you will.
See, that also brings up the potential of Brock, like we said before, possibly appearing in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Love.
And that would be the ultimate swerve at the end of the night, where Cena wins the titles, Lesnar wins the briefcase but doesn't cash in, and they save it for SummerSlam. Stare off. There's no SummerSlam sign. I keep forgetting. No point to the sign, but...
yeah. But, Bill, what you're saying is true. There's a saying in baseball, when in doubt, get an out. There's also a saying in WWE, it's when you're in between-a, bet on Cena. Because he always wins every time, no matter what he's doing.
I like that. You just make that up on the spot?
I did. Thank you.
Well done.
I'm real sharp like that.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
You guys have anything else to add for Money in the Bank?
One question for both of you.
What do you got?
Daniel Bryan's going to be on the pre-show.
Okay.
Does he affect the last match at all?
I don't think so.
I don't want him doing anything physical. I just don't. I just want him to get healed up.
I want him to get all super emotional and super involved into the interview with Booker T, who's going to be on the pre-show now that Josh Matthews has been feature endeavored.
Yeah, why did he get feature endeavored, by the way?
I don't know.
Renee Young.
Oh, Renee is the
even
best.
better.
Okay,
Even better.
later, Josh.
Oh, we're so sad he got fired. Oh, Renee's replacing him.
Renee's the best.
Just gonna be on the pre-show, and kind of tell the WWE universe and the Yes Movement or whatever you call his fans that he's getting better. He's making sweet love to Brie Bella every night, and he'll be back soon, healthier than ever, and refreshing like one Phil Brooks right now.
But you know what? Speaking of Brie Bella, maybe comes out and Steph comes out and it's like, shut up, D-Bry, whatever. And then Brie comes out and that kind of accelerates their feud that was kind of building before he got hurt. Because I know Brie had slapped her a few times. Someone just told us to suck it. Is that a wrestling term? I don't even know.
I think so.
Did you know him?
No.
It was just a random
guy.
suck it.
Just a man telling me to suck it.
That's interesting. All right, anything else to add, you guys?
No. Enjoy the show tonight. Those who are going, it's going to be a great time. And, cheer loud.
All right. Well, first and foremost, thank you to Hurricane O'Reilly's for graciously hosting us at your venue tonight to host our podcast. Thank you to Ben Franklin Tees for hooking us up with these awesome Eat, Sleep, ATB Repeat t-shirts. You guys can go home with one for just $20. Thanks to Mike Riley and Mike Wendt for joining us today. Thank all you fans here at Hurricane O'Reilly's, those of you who can hear us. You can follow me on Twitter at Bill_Neville Lee. Where can we find you?
At heel_LCM.
And Corey?
You can find me at the same cadence as CM Punk at CT Ponce.
CT Ponce.
Pontes.
Thank you. I was going to ask you to spell it for us.
Mispronounced my whole life, but it's not Pontus, I swear. Come on, Dad. Why don't you change that shit? Shit.
We normally don't do a show weekly anymore, but you guys can watch us and listen to us live normally on Ustream. You guys can go to our website, ATBWrestling.com, and click on the link that says ATB Live at the top of the page to watch and listen whenever we're on. We'll be sure to let you guys know on our ATB Wrestling Twitter whenever we're going to have a show a couple days in advance. But for all you guys here in attendance at Hurricane O'Reilly's, thank you guys so much. Corey, Lee, thank you guys.
Thank you, Bill.
As always.
Thank you.
Thank you to the lovely ladies over here. We got Lee's mom.
The Wives Club. And the Mom Club. The Wives Mom Club.
The Wives Mom Club.
WMC.
And the two lovely ladies, the first ladies of the After Bell podcast. And once again, thank you guys for listening, and enjoy Money in the Bank.